Alright then, we're up to the big bikes now, 750s. The Formula 1 class, I think they're called at the full-on TT. Rode a Suzuki last week, so I'm not going to ride the Suzuki this week. I'm going to jump on the Honda. Let's go for a regular colored Honda, because I saw a Honda that looked like this today. It wasn't one of these. It was a CBR, and this bike isn't a CBR. But it's whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna color it that color anyway because I like it. I like me Hondas to look like red, white, and blue color bikes, or just red. But mostly when there's multiple colors, I'm more into that because I have a short attention span and I like looking at pretty colors. I don't have a short attention span, and pretty colors aren't that interesting. I promise. I don't have. I'm not. That'd probably make me autistic. I'm not that. I'm honest. I was joking. I don't have that short of an attention span. I can watch long films without getting bored. Like, you hear those people complain about like Blade Runner being long and boring, but I watched it easy, so I don't know what they're talking about. And wow. Alright. So you might remember I had a bit of trouble. Well, no, I don't think it wasn't on the Novice Cup. I think it was the Men and Motors Intermediate. I had a bit of trouble with the Triumph 600 on the 750 class, but on the 600 class, sorry. But I had a bit of trouble keeping up because I kept crashing, and I had to restart. But I don't think I'm gonna have the same problem with this Honda because I've absolutely blown everyone the fuck out by 10 seconds. You know what? I'm not even going to complain. You know, usually I'd say, oh, I want a challenge. I want to actually have to race them. But when you're grinding out events like I am now, like I'm going to have to be doing until I get to like the Manx GP, sometimes you just want everything to be easy and go your way. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. Things are easy. Things are going my way. I'm just going to keep blowing everyone the fuck out over these like 1 minute stages and call it an episode. That'd be nice. I'd enjoy that. Look how quick this thing goes. Once I get into 6th gear, they're going to disappear. And he's still on the screen. And he rubber bandaged. But I'm going to be braver through the corner. And that should be the last I see of him. Nope. The Suzuki's having a fight with me. But you know what? Suzuki 750s are pretty popular. They're pretty famous. So, you know, there's probably there's probably something to do with why the Suzuki is so quick. And I'm glad that this game didn't model pavements and stuff like apparently the new one coming out has, because I haven't thought about the new TT game in a while. Because at E3, Team VVV refused to cover it because they hadn't implemented the physics of the bikes, which was a fucking retarded decision. Alright, don't take your game to E3 when you haven't modeled like 90% of the physics. That doesn't make sense. Who does that? Kiloton Games apparently do that. That's dumb. Why'd they do that? Then again, this is the same company that made Motorcycle Club. I want to keep reminding everyone that the people making the new TT game also made Motorcycle Club. And there's a demo available for Motorcycle Club on, I think, the 360 and the PS3. If you want to check it out, I wouldn't recommend checking it out. It's fucking it's shit, is what I'm gonna say about that game. So them saying they haven't implemented the physics, like, when did they say that game was gonna release? Like October, maybe, like September, November. Oh shit, almost looped out, but I didn't. Saved it, brought it back. Yeah, like not really that long until release, just a few months to implement physics into the game. Which, like with most racing games, they focus on, well, these days at least, they focus on physics first, and then making it look pretty and include content later. Like, they'll spend years, at least a year working on their tire model, you know? And then they'll, like, slap that tire model onto, like, some generic touring cars and release it with, like, 5 tracks no one's ever heard of. And then people will be like, oh, this game's so difficult, look how hardcore I am for playing it. And then they'll never touch it again. And you look at the Steam charts and there's like 2 people online at any one time. Or a league. And that's it. So, you know, in a lot of ways, maybe it is good that they're not like totally focusing on the physics, but at the same time, for a game that's going to include like 3 tracks, apparently, like the TT course, which, and, you know, 1 or 2 fictional, as well as like a couple of different classes of bikes, because all the bikes at the TT these days are pretty much the same, you know? Back when this game was made, you can see, like, from my Let's Play of it, it has everything from 125s to sidecars. These days, you have, like, 600s, liter bikes, electric bikes, and sidecars, right? And that's it. So, surely, there can't really be too much to model in terms of bikes and engines and stuff. And I mean, sure, this game uses a pretty generic, arcadey style handling model, but it's satisfying and it works, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Right, the AI are getting faster every stage. But I should still be able to deal with them easy peasy. Like, the most important thing to do with a TT game is to make the bikes satisfying to ride. Because the track, you know, the track is enough to deal with without having to worry about, you know, bullshit things like accelerating too hard and falling off the back of the bike or something. Like, yeah, fine, that happens in real life. But, you know, this track is difficult enough to get round. Plus, you have to do, like, 3 laps for the races, which takes maybe, like, an hour and a half. I don't want to have to be dicking around trying to figure out what kind of shitty physics model you've implemented. You know, I want to race. I want to race at the TT. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite race in the world. It is the best race in the world. It has to be your favorite. All right, get it right. It's not, you know, it's difficult to get right, but it was done in the mid-2000s. So, how hard can it be, really? Whatever. I mean, I'm sure they'll... As long as it's nothing like Motorcycle Club, I guess it'll be alright. The recent WRC games, like, allegedly have been good. Good, okay, passable. They're on their way to being good. And they're made by the same people. So, I mean, I'm a little worried. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm also sure that they'll eventually put in road markings as well, because even in the trailer they released, and I talked about this before at some point, I think, but even in the trailer they released, they hadn't put road markings on the road yet, so it looked really weird. But I think they focused too much on bushes rather than road markings, and the road markings are important. I'd say road markings are more important than getting every bush around the track in the right place, you know? Because the bushes, it's like, who cares? As long as you get, like, the main trees and stuff in the right place and the buildings in the right place, it'll be fine. You know, each individual tiny little bush at the side of the track, it doesn't matter. On a large scale. You know, on a singular scale of one bush, it doesn't matter. But if, like, you leave it lax around the entire track, then it starts to like suck you out of it. But if you don't have like the correct road markings and stuff, then there'll be a problem. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. Like I said, I'm sure they'll sort out the physics. I'm sure they'll be able to put road markings in. And we're done already. Like I'd hoped, all done really fast. So next week, the Southern 100 for 750s, which I'm not going to record now because I think I'm ahead enough again on Superbikes videos to be able to take a short break from recording them and find something else to record. Because I'm behind on, not behind, but time is catching up to a lot of series that I've recorded, like pre-recorded, and I need to just put down a few more videos to be able to make sure that I don't accidentally leave anything like I did with WRC the other day, or TT a couple of weeks ago when I just straight forgot to record it.